Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing.
In this lecture, I want to start with a popular TED Talk from Helen Toner, who used to be a member of the board at OpenAI and is now an executive director at Georgetown's Center for Security and Emerging Technologies. I then want to share with you a bold prediction that comes from Anthropic's CEO, Dario Amodei. I'm then going to share with you a ton of data. I don't have all of the different research reports listed here, but this includes a 2026 AI and Data Leadership Survey, which surveyed executives at more than 100 Fortune 1000 companies. We are then going to conclude with consumer perspectives and how consumers' sentiment towards AI makes this a really important field to get into. And we're going to end with career advancement. So I will share in the materials tab the link for this TED Talk. And if you've got 12 minutes, you should definitely go check it out. The main takeaway from this TED Talk, I think that's pertinent to us, is that if you are feeling a bit afraid or apprehensive about learning about artificial intelligence because you're afraid that it might be too technical, it's important to understand that even the subject matter experts don't fully know how this technology works. From an AI governance perspective, we are building the plane as we fly it. The important takeaway for us here, as Helen Toner says in this talk, is that we should not be intimidated by the technology or by the folks that are building it, because even the really smart AI and data engineers that are building these systems, they don't fully understand it either. We therefore should be focusing on adaptability, not certainty. So the main takeaway, don't be intimidated by the technology. It's actually pretty easy to get up to speed on the technology, to understand it at a very high level, and even at a very somewhat detailed level, well enough to understand how to manage risk throughout the AI development lifecycle. As I mentioned a moment ago, Dario Amodei is the Chief Executive Officer at Anthropic, which is one of the leading AI frontier labs right now. And he had this bold prediction somewhat recently that I want to share with you. Dario Amodei says, AI will likely become the most powerful and strategic technology in history. By 2027, which is less than a year from now, AI developed by frontier labs will likely be smarter than Nobel Prize winners across most fields of science and engineering. It will be able to use all the senses and interfaces of a human working virtually: text, audio, video, mouse, keyboard control, and internet access to complete tasks that would take people months or years. Imagine a country of geniuses contained in a data center. Whether or not this prediction comes true, it is clear, as the data I'm about to share with you shows, that this is a generational, transformational technology that is having a tremendous impact on human civilization. There is a booming need for AI governance professionals, folks who can be a hub amongst a number of spokes throughout an organization. And we're going to dive into that data right now. According to IAPP's most recent salary and jobs report from 2025 and 2026, they found that of the number of respondents, and they had over 1,600 respondents from more than 60 countries, they collected this data between March and April 2025. They found that the average salary for AI governance professionals was $182,000. Similarly, respondents that reported having one or more IAPP certifications, such as the AIGP, reported higher median salaries. Also, salary is great, but what about quality of life? 81% of respondents rated a job satisfaction of 6 or higher, so either being satisfied or more than satisfied with their job. AI is also diffusing rapidly throughout the planet. I'm not going to talk about each of the different regions that you see here. You can hit pause and analyze this a bit more intentionally if you'd like. The main idea of me sharing this with you, which comes from a very recent Microsoft report, is that AI is diffusing throughout the planet. And if you look at these orange and red areas, I think that if you are living or if you interact with a global organization that has a footprint in one of these regions, there is a tremendous impact that you can make in these areas. I mean, really all over the world. You can see that in the United States, for example, that adoption is only 30 to 39% of organizations. So there is tremendous opportunity to really start learning now and become a national, local, global leader in this space. On this slide, I just wanted to share with you how some countries have really grown very quickly just between the first half and second half of 2025. And I'm just going to focus on numbers from the second half of 2025 here. Again, AI diffusion, what Microsoft means by this, and I have the definition on the left-hand side. This is the share of people worldwide who have used a generative AI product during the reported period. And diffusion is worldwide, but of course they're slicing this data by country as well. 30% in South Korea, 64% in the UAE, 44% in France, more than 40% in New Zealand, etc., etc. So again, AI adoption is picking up, and when you compare just these two halves of 2025, you see that there's a tremendous amount of change that's happening. The next report I want to share with you comes from OneTrust. They surveyed 1,250 governance-focused IT decision makers at companies making more than $100 million annually in Europe and North America. And some of the statistics that I'm sharing with you, the ones that really struck me, again, they demonstrate that not only are organizations around the world adopting AI, but they need qualified AI governance professionals to help them manage all of the risk that's associated with the adoption and deployment of this technology. So for example, 37% increase in time spent managing AI-related risk compared to 12 months ago. So individuals are spending more time managing this risk. 75% of leaders state that AI exposes the limitations of legacy governance processes, meaning that processes that these organizations are going to need to update to account for their organization's adoption of AI. 73% of leaders report that AI has exposed critical gaps in visibility, collaboration, and policy enforcement. 82% of respondents say AI risks are actively accelerating their timelines for governing modernization. 98% of organizations plan to increase their governance budgets in the next financial year. Again, this is 2025 data. And 55% of organizations expect governance budget increases to exceed 20% in the next year. So these organizations not only understand the risk, they've identified the risk, and they've identified the need to increase their organization's governance capacity. That means hiring qualified individuals, growing these teams. I now want to share some data that comes out of the Stanford AI Index. This data is about a year old, but it's the freshest that we have right now. We can see from 2012 to 2024, looking at this graph here, the drastic increase in the number of AI incidents that have been reported. The data in this next chart really struck me. We see here on the left-hand side of all of the individuals that were surveyed for this report, organizations that have considered a particular AI-related risk as relevant. So of the folks surveyed, 66% have identified the cybersecurity risk, 63% regulatory compliance risk, 60% personal individual privacy, data protection risk, etc., all the way down. These numbers are shocking for me because there still isn't like a critical mass in these organizations that are recognizing these risks. Again, only 60% of individuals recognizing the privacy risk associated with AI. Like, as a privacy person, as an AI governance professional, like, I can't believe the number is that low. What really struck me though is not only is it such a small number of those surveyed, but folks actually mitigating these risks is even smaller. And that's what we see on the right-hand side with the pink data here. So we have on the left in the blue, we consider this risk relevant. And then in the pink, the number of respondents that are actively mitigating this risk. Only 53% mitigating cybersecurity risk. Again, risk related with AI. Only 50% regulatory and compliance. Only 46% personal and individual privacy data. Like, this is just blowing my mind. And so again, I want you to think of an AI governance professional as the hub amongst a number of spokes throughout an organization. These individuals are responsible for working with cybersecurity, privacy, legal, etc. There's clearly a need here, right? These risks aren't being addressed, and it bears out in more of the data that we're looking at here. The second to last report that I want to share with you comes from Deloitte. This was published in January of 2026, and so this is super fresh. And there was a quotation here that I pulled out because as an AI governance person, this really warmed my heart. As AI, Deloitte writes, moves from experimentation to deployment, governance is the difference between scaling successfully and stalling out. In the AI era, governance is more than guardrails. It is the catalyst for responsible growth. I love that, right? And through this survey, the data that we're about to look at, it bears out that there's still this tremendous need for people. Most concerning risks, this aligns with what we saw in the AI index from Stanford. Again, recognizing data privacy and security risks, legal, intellectual property, regulatory compliance, governance capabilities and oversight, model quality, workforce impact. So again, organizations are identifying the risk. The kicker, though, is that when it comes to talent preparedness, looking at this chart here, I want you to look at the column all the way to the right underneath talent. This is the share of organizations that feel that they are adequately prepared, that they have the right people and the right places to help them mitigate these risks. We'll see that only 20% of organizations surveyed say that they are highly prepared, and that number is actually down from previous years. 45% say they are moderately prepared, 29% saying that they are slightly prepared, 6% saying that they are not prepared at all. So again, from a talent perspective, it's very clear here in the data, not only the need for AI governance professionals, but that organizations don't have the right talent, right? That there's a gap mismatch here. The last set of data that I want to share with you comes from a 2026, again, very fresh data just within the last couple of weeks of recording here, AI and Data Leadership Survey. This is an executive benchmark survey. This is the 15th year that they've done this, 2026. And again, they've surveyed leaders, chief data officers, chief AI officers from more than 100 Fortune 1000 companies. I'm not going to read through just a sample here, but I mean, these are folks at big, important organizations that have been surveyed. 99.1% have acknowledged that investment in data and AI is a top priority. 38.5% have a chief AI officer. That seems a little low to me. So again, room for advancement. 93.2% acknowledging that people, not technology, is the greatest obstacle. So there are a lot of reports out there saying that adoption, rollout has not gone successfully. These organizations are saying this is a people problem, not a technology problem. 82.7% believe AI will be the most transformational technology in a generation. 79.4% report responsible AI as a top corporate priority. 54% realizing high or significant business value through deployment of AI, and 97.1% see long-term beneficial impact. So again, leaders at some of the biggest organizations in the world identifying not only is this transformational technology, but we need more people, right? There's support for this. We need the right people in the right places. Quick statistic here from McKinsey, 88% of respondents have deployed AI in at least one business function in their organization. Consumer perspectives here in the United States, this comes from Pew Research Center. The main statistic that I want to point out here is that half of Americans, 50%, say that they are more concerned than excited about the increased use of artificial intelligence in daily life. This is up from 37% in 2021. Very clearly, the public needs help with this. The technology needs to be governed, it needs to be adopted and deployed in a responsible way, and trust needs to be built with the public. It's very clear that the public is weary about this, and organizations are going to need the right people with the right skills in the right places to make sure that this adoption, this deployment goes smoothly. Last two things I want to leave with you here with regards to career advancement. Microsoft is investing $4 billion in AI literacy over the next 5 years. LinkedIn, for at least the second year in a row, has listed AI consultant as the second fastest growing job in the United States. This is, again, very fresh data. January 7th is when I got this. And the last thing, why should you get AIGP certified? It demonstrates to anyone looking at your resume that you are committed to learning and to self-improvement. It demonstrates subject matter expertise, and it's going to help you stand out from other folks in that resume pile that do not have the certificate. So usually in reviews, I like to go over all of the main concepts. There was way too much here to wrap this up very neatly, concisely. I think the main thing is, and I love this quotation, the best day to start learning AI was November 30th, 2022. That's when OpenAI released ChatGPT 3.5 and it took the world by storm. That was the best day to start learning AI. The second best day is today. We're at the beginning, right? Again, if you think of the ChatGPT revolution as kicking off in late 2022 or early 2023, we're only 3 years into this. Now is the time to get started. If you've been hesitant, get off the couch, get started. There are tons of reasons to get AIGP certified. I've shared just a handful of them with you here. Again, this is evidence-based. This is backed up by data. Great time to get started.